the whole month of October, my students have been going over the principles and elements of design. And now it's time for them to utilize everything that we learned in this arrangement. This arrangement is called Ghoulish Mischief, and I will have a recipe for it in the Floral Teachers of America Facebook page. But this is how I'm going to create it and how I'm going to give the instructions to my classes. I figured maybe seeing me do this may help some others. So that's what I'm going to do. And here we go. All right, to start off, when I'm designing and teaching my students how to design, I use this clock. I've used this thing for 15 years. I think I may have used this exact one for 15 years actually. But it's a clock, and I use it to tell my students where to insert their stems into their arrangement, and it has helped them greatly. And it also looks great because you're differentiating for your students. So when admin comes in, you look amazing. The container that we're gonna use is from Hill Import of Flair. Anyways, it's from Hills Imports, if I could say it. And they come in 3 different varieties that you can get into the container, whatever I'm trying to say. Like, you get a witch's hat, you get a pumpkin, and a ghost. So there's options. All right, the other thing that's great about this, already comes with a liner. So you put the liner in, take your third of the brick, pop it in just like so, and you're ready to go. Now, when designing, I tell my students that the focal point of your arrangement is always going to be at 6 o'clock. So that 6 o'clock is going to be at my belly button. So when I'm designing and I'm teaching, I tell them, remember, 6 o'clock goes to your belly button. Therefore, the instructions are very easy and I can't mess that up. So you think. All right, some of the supplies that we are using are 3 beautiful orange roses, orange crush if you're particular. We have 2 stems of lily grass. We have 2 bells of Ireland. Then we have some craspedias, 3. Brain celosia, because it is Halloween, so why couldn't we have brains? And then we have some statice. And then, of course, it has some sheet moss. All right, so those are our supplies. All right, when making this arrangement, I'm going to start with my brain celosia, and I want to insert this right at 7. So I'm going to take my brain celosia, or my celosia, however you want to say it, and right here on the side face of the foam, I'm going to have it at a 45-degree angle, and it's going to point towards 7 o'clock and point out just like so. Now, my next insertion is going to be with my orange roses. So I have 3 of them. We're going to stair stack them because we're going to create a pattern. So with that, I'm going to create a mama, a daddy, and a baby. So first, I'm going to insert my baby. And of course, we always cut at a 45-degree angle. Why do we do that? So that the flowers can drink. That's what I asked. So right behind, I'm going to take, this is my God-given measurement in my class. I'm going to take my knuckle. This should be about 1 inch. And from 1 inch behind, well, you can't see it that way. Put it that way. I'm going to insert straight behind it my first rose. So it'll go right like that. Ooh, she's kind of tipping it forward. There we go. All right, now my mama flower, because she's going to be kind of in the middle, going to be higher. Sometimes, if I feel like I need to, I'll tell students to take your God-given measurement from the calyx of the flower, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. You cut at a 45-degree angle. My students have branch cutters, but I have Meraki's, and I call them my bougie shears. So I'll always say, I'm cutting with my bougie shears. You have your branch cutters. Ooh. So I'm going to take this one, and it's kind of going to go in the center of the foam, straight up and down, as much as I can, because this rose wanted to grow funky in the farm. So I have to make her work. She's a little off kilter, but it's all right. And that again was another 1 inch behind. My last rose is going to go straight behind the baby because it's the daddy rose and he has to look over the family. In the corner, right behind it, he's going to be my tallest rose, just like so. So now I've created this beautiful pattern just like that with my oranges, my orange roses, and my orange celosia. All right, the next insertion into my arrangement is going to be my bells of Ireland. Always clean your bells of Ireland. It drives me insane when I go places and I see arrangements with these stupid leaves off the top of it. It just kills it. And for my livestock people, like, they'll understand, like, hairs on the belly of an animal just ruin that bottom underline. So you go ahead and you take those leaves off the top, and it makes your line even stronger because this is a line flower. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This flower, we're gonna have two different insertions. We're gonna have one going in at an angle in our arrangement, kind of at 10, and then one at 11. All right, we want our bells to kind of curve over the top of our arrangement to kind of create like this caging effect. So, ooh, that may be too tall. There it is. So this one at 11 in the side of the foam, not on the top, on the side of the foam, we want it to kind of grow over the top of the rose, just like that. Kind of like an octopus tentacle, like grabbing at it. So that's where we're going. That was at 10. And I guess if you wanted to get particular, like this would be 90 and this would be a little bit off of it if you were trying to do angles. Oh my God, geometry in floral, who would have known? So again, taking this, and this little guy doesn't really want to give me a curve very much, but I'm still going to insert him on the side of the foam at 11 at an angle. Just like that. Now on this demonstration one, if I could change anything, I'd probably switch these two, but it is what it is. We're gonna move on. And don't throw these away. These are still good. Save them. All right, let's go ahead and put our lily grass in because we're gonna have to do some maneuvering around these flowers and it's just gonna be easier. So when you go to insert lily grass in, a lot of people have issues because it wants to flip or just kick its way out of an arrangement. But the easiest way to do that is to fight the tension by inserting it in horizontally. So I'm going to take the ends of my stem and insert it horizontally into the foam. Then I'm going to take my loops however I want it. Okay. And I'm going to create, come on now, don't make me look like a fool. I'm going to create this beautiful little loop right here. I could put it behind, I could put it in front, but for these purposes, I'm gonna leave it in the front. Now, you could use something like a greening pin to stick it in, but what you need, if it didn't run off and leave me, it did, where'd it go? This is my everyday life, just chasing things down on this table. A pipe cleaner. So, this pipe cleaner, and the one I was hunting down, I found on my way back to my table. So of course, I'm gonna cut it and I'm going to make it into like a little V, just like so. And I'm going to create my loops. Sorry, I'm taking my loops away from you. And just like I would with a greening pin, I'm going to stick this into the foam and it's gonna hold your lily grass better than any greening pin would because the little hairs on the side of the pick help hold it into the foam. Now, if this container was bigger, I would leave these long, but I kind of want to trim them but still use the tails because I want it to look like a finished product. So I'm going to cut these a little shorter. Someone out there is probably gasping, but it's okay. One of our talks is proportion, and if this is too long, we need to make it shorter. But I don't want to waste good product because we want it to look like it's coming out the side. So I'm just going to finish up just right there. Just so it's a little bit, okay? There we go. All right, so now on to our craspedias or billy balls. Sometimes I like to leave them hanging all up high in an arrangement, but because we're talking about texture and depth, I wanted to show the kids how to utilize these in the arrangement pave. Pave means that it's going to be close to the foam. This is a pave. So I'm going to cut my craspedias about an inch, maybe an inch and a half. I don't really need much. And by using 3 different sizes of billy balls, I can really show them how proportion does matter. So I'm going to take right at 6 o'clock and I'm going to insert my largest of them. Then I'm going to take this one at an angle right above it and let it space itself up just a little bit. And then this last one is going to be kind of more pointing towards 5, but it's going to be floating right above the bigger craspedia, just like so. So you can really see the different textures and proportions. Alright, next is time for my statice. And I'm going to put these off because we have everything on this side. We need to balance it out. For every action, there is a reaction. Oh no, she's using science terms too. Physics. So right at 3, I'm going to take that first statice and have it sticking out like so. And hopefully the statice, if you choose to do this arrangement, is better than the statice I got. And more options. And I'm just gonna create a little triangle right there to the side of this arrangement. And come out a little longer. Just like that. So I have something weighing it out. I have weight over here with these lily grass. I have weight with the statice. But I've made a little triangle at different heights at 3 o'clock. But wait, she's naked. Like, if she went out in the hallways, it would get dress coded because we can see all the underwear of our arrangement. Don't worry, we can fix that. We can use sheet moss to cover up some of our underwear. If you wet the sheet moss, it actually goes a little bit further. I find that the kids make it work. So right now, I'm just gonna cover this whole back corner in sheet moss. Remember, this is supposed to be texture. Okay, I'm gonna take a greening pen, and I'm going to poke that in to my foam just like that. I don't like for my mechanics to show because, you know, it's like your underwear hanging out. So I just take a little pinch there and I cover up the silver so you can't see it. So that's one main corner taken care of. If I show the kids that, look, this one corner is taken care of, with the next step, they're not freaking out over the other parts. So remember those bells of Ireland that I just had sitting off to the side? Well, we're gonna use them. We can use these little flowerets, as like what I want to call them. I don't know if somebody else has a brack or whatever you want to call it, the more professional terms. But we're gonna take and we're gonna pave again in places that my foam is showing. So like I stuck this one right here to cover up, and I'm gonna do the same thing in a few other places. So right here in the front, no, I'm gonna leave that one there, but right there. Now checking around, I've got of course this little corner over here, and I'm gonna take a little bit of my sheet moss and I'm going to cover it in, creating what I was taught was negative space, but now in the AIFD handbook is called unoccupied space. That is what the sheet moss does, is give us that unoccupied space, and I'm going to make sure that all of my underwear is covered so that my arrangement does not get dress coded when it goes outside. Okay, last things last, we're going to do Crown and Glory. Hit it with a little bit of leaf shine from Cryville, not sponsored. And that is how you create my Ghoulish Mischief arrangement. Like I said earlier, the recipe will be posted in the Floral Teachers of America page. If you are looking for other recipes or other lesson plans, I do have a Teachers Pay Teachers site. It's called Cultivated Blooms. If you're looking for tutorial videos, you can find me here on TikTok. You can find me on YouTube. I'm trying to post more of my stuff so that there's more resources available for teachers. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you need anything, just shoot me a message. I love sharing my love of flowers with others and spreading this joy throughout classrooms everywhere. Y'all have a great day and go make something fantastic.